Hey everyone, the new film Black Bag stars Cate Blanchett and Michael Fassbender. And just let me say that this spy drama has more twists than a pretzel. But does it deliver on the espionage thrills we've come to expect? Or does it fizzle under the weight of its own seriousness? Stick around and find out. But first, please give this review a thumbs up, subscribe for more, and maybe even share it with friends who might be thinking about seeing this movie. Plus, that's a great way to let YouTube know what you think. All right, so Black Bag follows George Woodhouse and Kathryn St. A married couple who works for the British intelligence agency inside MI6, whose carefully balanced relationship of secrets and loyalty begin to unravel when George receives a list of five potential traitors tied to the theft of Severus, a classified system capable of shutting down nuclear reactors and causing mass casualties. And one of those names is Kathryn. What unfolds is less of a race against the clock thriller and more of a tense, strategic game of chess built on paranoia, power, and fragility of trust. As George hosts a dinner party to quietly interrogate each suspect, emotional pressures build between husband and wife, blurring the line between national security and personal betrayal, leading to a seductive, suspenseful series of twists that keep you guessing even as the truth comes into focus. From there, the story really takes off in a sexy, strategic set of events that keeps you guessing even as you become more certain about who did what and why. Black Bag is a sleek and sexy slow burn of a cat and mouse game that trades explosive action for razor sharp dialogue and high stakes strategy, which fuel the deeply personal tension that focuses on the emotional complexity of George and Kathryn's relationship. It's more of a character portrait than a traditional spy thriller, given the lack of action scenes that you might expect in an espionage thriller. Instead, the story explores whether love and suspicion can coexist within a relationship, and the film draws its power from the contradiction of two people who trust each other completely until put to the test. It's a psychological pressure cooker that feels like watching a marriage unravel and then reform again under the strain of potentially catastrophic political betrayal. With the moody intensity of James Bond, Black Bag smolders with the quiet confidence in every glance and gesture and calculated move between George, Kathryn, and the other players on the board. Director Steven Soderbergh and writer David Koepp keep things tight and stylish in a cinematography that is sleek without being cold. The editing is crisp, but it lets key moments linger. This isn't a movie that's afraid of silence either, because it wants you to lean in and to understand that action doesn't always mean explosions. While the story stays personal with its focus on George and Kathryn, it also subtly echoes modern anxieties about government overreach, digital warfare, and even the blurred lines between patriotism, survival, and personal ambition at all costs. The entire cast does a wonderful job, but it's Michael Fassbender and Cate Blanchett who not only steal the show, but who absolutely just disappear into their roles as George and Kathryn. They're so comfortable within their characters that you don't question a single moment between them. It's honestly the kind of on-screen chemistry that we rarely see lately, and it's amazing how they just kind of slip into the comfort of shadows and lies with this understated elegance. What really sets Black Bag apart is its focus on the inner workings of the agency. You're not just getting the agents in the field, you're inside the rooms where the decisions get made, where people maneuver for power, and where suspicion grows. The inner office politics are just as tense as the covert operations, and that's honestly refreshing. Most spy films tend to detach characters from their support systems, putting them out into the cold. Here, you see the mechanics of how these people work together or against each other. It makes the potential for betrayal hit so much harder, and the personal stakes, they feel even more intimate. Without giving anything away, the emotional climax lands just with the right mix of closure and ambiguity while leaving you thinking about what loyalty really costs and what it provides. If I'm going to nitpick anything, and honestly, that's kind of what this part of the review is for, there were a couple scenes that lingered just a little longer than they needed to, which slowed down the pace just a little too much from time to time. However, the lingering was always on something interesting, a facial reaction, a line of dialogue that had layers to unpack, a glance that told you more than words ever could, or just this imagery, really, in the scene that didn't need dialogue to convey emotion or context. So while the pace slows down a little too much sometimes, it feels deliberate, and I think that's actually kind of important. I think this leads into the criticism that we will see from most people that there isn't a lot of action because, yeah, there's not a lot of action. And yes, it could have used more action. I love action, absolutely. But then it would have been a different kind of film. This is a drama first, a spy thriller second, and an unconventional love story third. There are peppered moments of action, but this is not a film that sprints. It's a methodical, slow burn, like I said, that earns every beat, and that does that through depth of character and precision. I think that whether this film works for a person is really a personal preference, but it is something that you should know about so that you don't walk into the theater expecting a different type of film, because that will absolutely lead to disappointment for you. So, would I recommend Black Bag? Well, this is a grown-up, sophisticated, sexy spy thriller that doesn't need to shout to get your attention. It whispers, and that whisper gets under your skin. If you're a fan of films like Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy or The Constant Gardener, this is going to hit a sweet spot for you. If you like your espionage laced with emotional complexity and just the right amount of seductive intensity, this one's for you. And honestly, even if spy thrillers aren't your jam normally, the relationship dynamics here might pull you in anyway. So, yeah, if that's your kind of bag when it comes to films, I do think Black Bag definitely will hit the spot, and this is a ticket-worthy movie. Black Bag feels like an exhilarating breath of fresh air full of tension, intimacy, and that kind of quiet action that comes from watching two people try to outmaneuver everyone and each other without losing their connection. And somehow it all works. It's clever and it's tight, and it doesn't spoon feed anything to you. You're just pulled into the story and allowed to feel your way through it. And personally, I think it's great for a night out, and I think that adults of any age are going to like it. It's not a high action popcorn flick, and little kids are not going to like it. They're going to miss the nuance and possibly get super bored. However, for most people, I think you will find something to enjoy here because it is incredibly well written, well directed, and of course, well acted. Which, hey, that's always a win in the theater, especially when you're paying the kind of money you're paying nowadays. So, what did you think of Black Bag? Have you seen it yet? Does it kind of fit the spy thriller that you love? Does it hit home for you? Or do you prefer more of a Mission Impossible type of movie? Let me know in the comments below. And while you're here, please do give this video a thumbs up, subscribe for more, and share with a friend who might be thinking about seeing Black Bag. All right, that's it for now, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I'll see y'all again soon. In the meantime, happy viewing. Bye for now.